Well, I'm excited today to welcome a friend of mine and a person that I've grown to respect tremendously in the city of Pomona, and someone who has been a champion for the development of our CHERP program and the solar power assembly factory in the city of Pomona. And this is, I'd like to introduce everyone to Dr. Enrique Medina. So, Dr. Medina, thank you so much for being here today. And I think for the rest of the conversation, since I'm used to it, I'll just call you Enrique, if that's all right.
That works. And thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. Dr. Medina is finishing up, coming to the end of an over 30-year career at the Pomona Unified School District, starting off as a science teacher and working his way through many different positions of responsibility, including principal and director of many, many different departments. Dr. Medina is now the Director of Career Readiness and San Antonio Regional Occupation Program. He is a commissioner for the LA Workforce Investment Board, and he is on the executive board of the Pomona Chamber of Commerce, and also a founder of the College Career and Workforce Development Task Force. So this is a long and illustrious career, but one of the reasons that I got to know Dr. Medina is because we were contemplating bringing our program, the first nonprofit solar panel assembly factory in the world, to Pomona. And I got immediate creative and passionate response from Dr. Medina and his team. That was very surprising to me. I had workforce development experience in other places, and I had not experienced as much creativity and as much passion as I experienced from you and your team, Enrique.
Thank you.
And so over the last 4 years, we've been working on this project. And I'm just very excited to be able to talk with you a little bit today about what you do and the importance of all of the workforce development efforts that you are spearheading in the city of Pomona. Because many programs and much of what we're doing would not be happening without some fairly sophisticated workforce development programming and activities going on behind the scenes. So maybe we could just start off by having you describe to us a little bit about the various workforce development programs in the Pomona Unified School District, and what are all of the how are all of these things kind of connected?
Thank you, Damon, for the introduction, and really appreciate the kind words. The feeling is mutual, and the admiration also. Wanted to share with our listeners and viewers that the workforce development efforts did not start a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's been a series of observations and anecdotal experiences that I've had here in Pomona Unified School District over the last 30 years, as well as my focus on my dissertation that had to do with workforce development and what would make our high school students more successful when attending high school and then moving on to post-secondary military work. So it's been ongoing for many, many years. The first opportunity I had was when I saw the connection between all of the projects that we have at Pomona Unified School District, all of the positions that we had in Pomona Unified School District, being that we are, if not the largest, one of the largest employers of Pomona. And we started saying, so how do we link our community to those opportunities? So over time, we continue to specialize our career tech ed career pathways. Our academics programs have always been very strong, leading to colleges and universities. Very, very strong. Where we started hurting was in the electives, because if you remember, back in 1999, with the passage of the California High School Academic Index, what we used to call the API,
Mm.
um, we started grading the performance of schools by student performance. So students that needed remediation, we took the electives were dismissed, and we provided more math and language arts remediation. So you went to class, you took your English class, then later on in the same day, if you were not hitting the standard, you would be taking language arts remediation. The same thing for mathematics. So since 1999 and then at 2000, with the passage of the No Child Left Behind, then it really got more and more compressed, where we really needed to worry about more a single test score than the whole child. Now, fast forward 20 years, and now we're looking at a comprehensive look at our students that includes college readiness, career readiness, attendance, everything else. So now we're actually taking a nice snapshot of the whole school based on all the different preferences of the students and how they perform. So with that said, our career pathways at the high school started to evolve, started to get stronger, started to get connected. But as an educational agency, we could only be connected to education. So what was the next logical step? Where is business? Where is industry? Well, guess what? There is the Pomona Chamber of Commerce, where they have represent all of the business community. So I said, you know what? I need to be part of that to connect what we're doing at the high school level and what we're doing at the sending our students to the universities and colleges to get them ready for the work skills, the soft skills back then we used to call them, that's workability skills. And we would prepare them for a life success more holistically. So I joined the Pomona Chamber 12, 15 years ago. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And over time, we started connecting the educational sector with the business sector, and we called it educonomy. So it was education based on the economy as demanded by the business community.
Beautiful.
And that term came about from our friends in Tennessee, which they provided us a scholarship many years ago. I forget the name right now. When it was a worldwide interactive network, and they provided us a $50,000 scholarship to be able to provide soft skill development to our students that were in the CTE courses. So that was really exciting. So that really accelerated the process. So now we said, okay, we're connecting this, but now we're getting into the 21st century. So in the 21st century, the demand for other skill set was required. And we took the list from the Harvard School of Business that defined what those 21st century skills were. And we focused all of our work in those courses in that framework. And I still have it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Give me a second. It's 20 skills for the new century. Most lists of 21st century skills include some or all of the following: critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, written and oral communication, creativity, self-direction, leadership, adaptability, responsibility, and global awareness. So that came from the Harvard Education Letter in September, October 2008. So in 2008, we focused all our curriculum in our courses, all of our work experience to be able to create this kind of opportunity for our students. So when they left the high school and went to university, college, employment, military, their own business, because they could have started their own business, they had this skill set ready for them. So now we continue moving fast forward, and now the labor market changes because of the economy. You remember the great recession we had in 2008, 2009? Well, that hit us at 2 years later, usually at the state level, because of our budget. So around 2010, 2011, 2009, 2011, 10, we decided, okay, we have a lot of agencies, we have a lot of businesses. You guys are experts in A, We're experts in B, but we offer A and B in every single one of our businesses and agencies. So we said, you know what? Call out what you're an expert on, and we'll be able to refer our students or clientele or constituency that needs that service to you because you're the expert provider. And we'll save money because we're not as expert as you are. But when somebody goes to you, then you send them to us. You'll save money on that part. So 10, 11 years ago, there were three of us that got together. But you know Michael Thomas from the American Shelf Service of California?
Of
He's one
course.
of the founding fathers of the task force. And then it was Mr. Frank Garcia. At that time, he was the CEO and president of the
Right.
Pomona Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
So all three of us showed up. We had a meeting. Okay, three of us, it's not going to work that well. Little by little, we started getting 10, 15, 20. This month's meeting that happened on Thursday, August 6th, because we meet the first Thursday of every month at 9:30. We've been doing that for about 10 years, 11 years. We had 74 attendees throughout the region, and it's incredible the energy.
And how many organizations does that represent?
Wow.
Probably at least about that same amount, right? About 70 different organizations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It could be private, public, nonprofits, industry, unions, elected officials. So it's really, it's incredible how much energy that has gotten. It's received so much attention that the Workforce Investment Board has identified the task force has a premier performance partner pilot in the whole region, that they said, well, based on the coming together at the same time instead of multiple times, so you save a lot of time. Instead of going to 5 meetings, you go to 1 meeting. Based on all the networking you do with public, private, nonprofit, etc., then we're seeing that it's not just at the meeting where we're learning about it, it's offline too, because we're able to provide the contact information. So if I needed something from person A, I would contact them offline, and we saw a lot of ramifications of that, a lot of networking after the meeting. So it's really took off, and currently our next meeting is going to be September 3rd, Thursday, September 3rd at 9:30, and we're looking forward to it. So let's go back to where we said the economy piece. So we had now the education piece, we had the business piece. But you know, it's not just a matter of a district in a city, it's a matter of a district in a city, in a county, in the state, in the country, in the world.
Right.
So we started going from now, we connected with the Workforce Investment Board, and I was invited to participate or recommended to be a commissioner for the Los Angeles County Workforce Investment Board. And that was in November 2019. Yes, it hasn't been that long. It feels a long time, but we've been working really well together, and we have been able to bring an additional partner that knows all of the business infrastructure in the county, to be able to connect with all of other partners of ours, so that we're able to work together and all meet our mutual goals that we have in our businesses and our agencies. Well, with that being said, we are then applying for grants that the government is looking at us saying, you know what, you guys are doing a really good job at Pomona Unified School District. You're very well connected with the city. You're very well connected with the county. We see that you're connected with the state in different funding sources, and we see that you are awarded multiple grants at the federal level. So let's work together. And that's when we went into the international world by having the first nonprofit solar panel fabrication installation center in Pomona. And that's where Devon and I connected. Devon called Mr. Vera in Chino and asked, do you know anybody that may be interested in doing this? That's about 3-4 years ago, Devon?
Right, I think so, yeah. Probably 4 years
And
ago.
then
Yeah.
Ron Vera then says, contact Pomona, they're very progressive. They have a really good superintendent, Mr. Martinez, he thinks outside the box
That's
and
right.
is very caring for his community and his district. So then the bond calls the superintendent's office. The superintendent then directs it to me, and then that's the end of the story. Because after that, we got together a week later or something like that,
Yeah, right about a
and we
week
started
later.
bringing our team together. I go, this is an amazing opportunity, but they needed support from people on the ground because you were at the more into the academic, engineering, technical aspect of it. You
Correct.
needed something on the ground,
And
and
we
then
needed
we
we
started
needed real connections to the
very much.
organization and the potential workforce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually focused on two items, if I remember correctly. Number one was a physical location where they could anchor the dream of having the first nonprofit in the world, or the vision. And then the second item is, how do we develop a workforce that serves the local community? Because I remember that was a critical aspect of our conversations.
Yeah.
If we're going to be in Pomona, we're going to be hiring Pomonians or
Yep.
people around the region. And so we said, well, we're perfect up for this. Let's see what we could look at. So we looked at our welding shop here, our old welding shop that was not being used because we had to cut programs back in 2011, 2012 due to the budget cuts.
Right.
And that was one of the programs that needed to be, it was too costly to sustain. So we saw that. And then thanks to Mr. Mesa, we went to a meeting and then he offered an amazing location at the village at Indian Hill, which was a surprise to me because I mean, that's like at the hub of 3 counties. You have San Bernardino, Los Angeles, Riverside, and I don't include Orange County because it's only like 5 miles away from us or 7 miles away
True.
on the 71
True.
freeway, pretty close, 71 and 57, I think. So it's really well connected and we're going like, wow, 3 minutes, it's probably 3 minutes down the 10 freeway. It's probably maybe 5 minutes up the 60 freeway and the 210. I mean, it's such a nice location with
Right.
all of the different bus routes, etc. That I mean, we couldn't have asked for something better, and that's something that we have to be thankful to Mr. Mesa and Mr. Martinez for authorizing that transaction, and also the Valleys Academies Foundation for being able to work out a partnership lease with CHERP and LPG to make
They
that
have all
happen.
been so supportive. Every one of those agencies and all of the people involved have just been really bending over backwards to help us get situated there. And plus it's also in an opportunity zone.
Yes, and that too.
And it's also inside the new Transformational Climate Communities potential grant area that we're all focused on for the new potential grant out of the governor's office.
It's incredible how one little phone call connects everything together.
Yeah.
And all the dots were there, but I think what we needed was who was going to be connecting the dots to establish a network and strong bonds, because you could connect the dots, but they could dissolve very easily for multiple reasons. But that's establish a strong network that not only is very strong, solid, but expandable. It seems like it just continues to expand and expand and expand. And we're soon to test that it's going to be replicable. We have to be able to replicate the infrastructure that we're designing. Otherwise, it's not going to be self-sustainable over a long period of time. After all, if we're going to do something, we want it to be not just short-term thinking. We want to say, okay, it's self-sustainable and it will help the environment in the long time as well than the community, because it is the community that's going to keep the sustainability to help the environment in the future.
Yes. And that's what was so inspiring to me in meeting you, is that there are lots and lots of great programs happening, most of them happening in isolation or in parallel. And what
Mhm.
I think your particular genius has been to recognize all the richness that's existing, but to be able to bring all of that together now into a group of coordinated actions where everybody understands what everybody else is doing and everybody can help. And that's, I
Mhm.
think, what's so not only important to move the work forward and to actually get jobs created and actually move people from disadvantaged situations into the workforce and into life skills. Um, not only that, but to, like you say, have the opportunity to be thinking strategically about how we can build on this going forward. And
And
already we're now in conversations with San Bernardino and Victorville and New Jersey and so many other places around the country where we can export this same sort of workforce development model.
and you know, Devin, without the support of say, for example, the workforce development aspect, you have to think about our deputy superintendent, Mr. Darrell Knowles, who's willing and open to say, you know what, we need this kind of training. Let's work together. You need to have the financial support of our chief business officer, Ms. Sandra Garcia, and you need to have the instructional delivery for the workforce development through Ms. Lilia Fuentes, or assistant superintendent. And of course, the board and the superintendent, the board has to be
Yes.
able to also be forward thinking to be able to support this kind of actually this kind of vision that is becoming more and more reality every day. I was driving by the village at Indian Hill yesterday evening, afternoon, and I saw that you could not find a different door. I mean, here, just go to the yellow door, that big yellow door that we have to open up and close the factory. It's you see all the equipment in there. It's really exciting. It's coming to fruition, and we are actually meeting now to launch or marketing to be able to prepare for the first cohort sometime in the late fall, early winter.
Yes. Yes. For new hires
Yes.
to come into the factory. That's exactly right. We're working with Michael Thomas right now to identify those first job positions. And we're hoping to start training in October for those. And then we'll have to ramp up rapidly after the first of the year.
Well, we're very grateful with the partnerships that we've had with the Los Angeles County Workforce Development Board, Community and Aging Division, with Caroline,
Taurosis, yes. Caroline Taurosis, yes.
and the business development group has been amazing in that division. And then also with the leadership that our interim executive director for the Workforce Investment Board, Maritza.
Duby Uribe, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
What a
Yes.
team. Even with that, we're good. Okay.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, yeah, absolutely. We've really been encouraged by all of their incredible support and excitement about what we're doing. So it feels like a team. Even LA County is so large, but it does feel like an intimate team moving forward on this. So Enrique,
yes.
I'm really enjoying this conversation. Thank you so much. And could you give us just as a parting shot, what's some of the things that you're most excited about right now? About all the things that you have done and created, what are you most excited about?
Well, there's going to be, well, there's a lot. It's all this symbiotic relationships that you're building at the district, school, district, county, state, federal, and even with international agencies. As you know, I was supposed to present at Oxford University in England, but due
Right.
to the pandemic, that had to be put on hold. It's really exciting. I mean, just thinking about our partnership with CHERP and the LGP. I mean, come on, that's unheard of. The first nonprofit solar panel manufacturing and installations program in the world.
Right.
Wow. I mean, just that's one of just a little bit on the excitement side, right? And I'm really
Right.
excited. Now you got me going. And then number
Good.
two, this year, Pomona Unified School District has been able to successfully place a Cisco Academy where the high school students will have the opportunity to be Cisco certified by the time they finish their high school education, and we'll be able to we have them all at the all comprehensive high schools. So it's not like, oh, only at one school. No, every comprehensive high school has been selected to have or a Cisco Academy, and we have directed our resources to make that happen. Now that's exciting, especially during a world that we were not, we were pushed into the 21st century. For some of us that were not in the 21st century, look at us, it's Zooming right now. Before it was face to face or with the camera somewhere in a physical space. Now it's all digital and online. So that's another one. The third one is how the growth and the potential of the task force and the LAP3 Los Angeles Partnership Performance Program network that continues to expand, and I see that also creating other sub task force or subgroups that could focus on specific tasks that need to be addressed by specific agencies or partners that we could work with just by a few selected groups that are experts in that area. So, I mean, that's really exciting. There's just a lot of stuff that is so exciting. I mean, work experience. So we had the pandemic, right, in March. Come Friday, March 13th, we had to shut down the schools. So we are in a community that is very challenged, as you know. We are an opportunity zone. You name it, we have it. Opportunity zone, challenged socioeconomically. So we had to shut down the whole system, and not only that, it also shut down the work permits that our students were needing to go to work.
Right.
So we were one of the few, if not the first district in this county or the state. We went paperless. So you could actually be at home and not have to come in to get a piece of paper to get your work permit. That was amazing. It was just something that, and that was Monique Cardenas doing that work. That's just something that, to me, and I'm just talking about the pieces that I have some that I touch. There are other pieces happening in this district that are amazing too. There are pieces being led by the superintendent, Mr. Martinez, and the Board of Education. The city with our mayor or city council, I mean, we really work together, and we create that synergy. And then with private, public, nonprofits, we also welcome them. So the exciting, I think if you look at the most important exciting part to me is that we have created a nucleus of a very well-connected network that can expand and replicate at any given time, depending on the environmental shift that we need to adapt to. And that environmental shift is usually done by the economy and or the labor market.
Beautifully said. Beautifully
that's
said.
in a nutshell.
Right.
That network is a sphere of strength that expands and contracts as needed, and it's replicable. So it's exciting. I mean,
it's super exciting. And just coming to the meetings, in the task force meeting, in and of itself is an exciting exciting activity for me. Just seeing everybody and getting to know all of those people that you have connected. It's
you get that energy, that really positive energy too from that group.
That's exactly right.
It's like I very highly charged in a positive way.
Yeah.
After that meeting.
Right. Well, you know, I think that's what you have helped me see and help plug us into coming into the city of Pomona. And I just think that we're all really grateful. Every time I talk to somebody about you, they admire what you have done and they're grateful. But you know what? I think the biggest compliment is everybody just loves being around you.
Oh.
And so I think that you have a wonderful, not only understanding about how important it is to be connected, but you actually genuinely enjoy the intimate connections that you have created, and it's a wonderful legacy. I just really wanted to let you know how much you're appreciated and loved throughout the community.
Oh, thank you. I love the community. I appreciate the community. Um, every and all aspects of it. I mean, I go to work and I'm happy going to work most
Yeah.
of the time. Not all the time, but there are some mornings like, oh my God, I'm going to that meeting. That's besides the point.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I'm just blessed to be able to do what I do. And I've had different opportunities be offered to me, but I'm going, why should I do this at this time? I still need
Right.
to have the, we still need to, it's like, I feel like we're in a incubation cycle for many great things to come.
Right.
And if we don't take care of that incubate, of that, those systems that are incubation, they're so fragile that they may break. So in the meantime, let's get them strong. Let's get them ready to go. And then I would have no problem saying thank you and I'm
Right.
out. But in the meantime, it's just, every day, it's a gift from God to be able to do what we do.
Well, thank you, Enrique. Thanks for joining us today. It's a joy talking with you about these things that mean so much to so many people. And I'm looking very much forward to see what we create together in the future.